What's going on, everyone? My name's Mark and this is Mako Reselling. Now I've got a good one for you today. This is going to be 10 women's clothing brands of sweaters that sell on eBay used for over $50. These are definitely brands you're going to want to be on the lookout for, not only for sweaters, but for other things as well. If you get value out of this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe, please comment, let me know other things. Couple things I want to point out before we get started. All these brands, there's going to be certain patterns you're going to want to look for because there are, of course, other brands that can go for over $50. You're going to want to look for very high quality fabric like Icelandic wool, alpaca, merino wool, cashmere, things like that. Those can be signals that something could possibly be worth picking up. Now, other things that I want to point out too is that the sell-through rate, I think, is skewed downwards for a lot of these clothing because I am shooting this in August and you've got 3 months backwards, May, June, July. So obviously the sell-through rates on these are going to pick up quite a bit as you get into fall and winter. Now, in terms of patterns, a couple easy patterns just to know off the top of your head in case you don't do this. Look for like thick, chunky knit cable sweaters. Look for Aztec, Southwestern patterns. Okay, first one here I think is a really good one and one I really like. It's Pachamama. Now Pachamama I think is unique in that the sweaters from this company, they don't just go through a factory and someone's just hitting a button. What they do with almost all their sweaters is the labor is outsourced to farming communities for this South American clothing company. And the farming communities, they will allow people who knit to make these sweaters. So they're all handmade. These individuals will make the sweaters, give them back to Pachamama. Pachamama will then sell them, of course, and that's why they're so valuable. They're so unique. They're handmade. On eBay, the market size for this is around $320. So I do think it is possible to come across these, and you can only expect that the market size will keep growing. The sell-through rate, there's about 70 sold, so what, about 25%. But again, it is summer. But almost all of these go over $100. So much labor put into them, so many cool designs. Be on the lookout for Pachamama. Our next one here, another good South American company, Peruvian Perfection. This is a clothing brand to be on the lookout for. Kind of riding that Southwestern Aztec theme right now. Maybe they're kind of riding it a little bit and doing well because of it. But they've definitely got some really unique designs, and also you can tell if the quality is really there just looking at the clothing. So Peruvian Perfection, definitely one to be on the lookout for. Can make some great money, over $200, even used. Next one here is a good one, Farm Rio, another South American clothing company. It is Brazilian and it incorporates a lot of the, I would say, Brazilian type culture, like bright colors, bright leaves, colorful flowers, tropical birds, things like that you're going to see on these sweaters. Market size is decent on eBay. It's about 500. So it's one to definitely, I think you can find if you're out thrifting enough at some point, you're going to come across this brand. These sell good. They sell over $50 used. Be on the lookout for Farm Rio. Next brand here comes from across the pond. It is Icewear. Now this is an a clothing company from Iceland, and it is sweaters made from Icelandic wool. So that is a very high quality type of wool. It really is like Icelandic wool from what I recall. It is very like durable on the outside, water repellent. On the inside, it's very soft and comfortable. Makes it great for outerwear. Icewear is definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, not only for sweaters, but things like jackets. Those probably sell for incredible money I haven't even seen. But definitely Icewear, be on the lookout for it. Brand here is Peruvian Connection. Now this brand is not from South America. It's actually a United States clothing company. or at least the headquarters is here. I'm sure they have a presence in South America. These are going to be sweaters made from Peruvian Pima cotton, which is very upscale cotton, and also alpaca. The market size on eBay is pretty big. It's about 900 with about 200 sold. So you definitely have a shot of finding this brand. Now, the one thing I would say is the sell-through rate doesn't appear to be great, but I am doing this in the middle of summer. That should surely turn around, and many of the items do sell for $75, $100 with these sweaters. So it's a safe bet to say if you could find one of these, it's cheap enough, probably worth picking up. Maybe you don't get exactly 50, maybe you get 40 bucks for it. Okay, next brand here is one I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, Veronica Beard. It has got a big market size. It's somewhere around like 1,800. The sell-through rate is not great for this. There's only about like 200 sold. So this is going to be pretty model and fabric dependent in terms of what you sell and what you can get, how quick it's going to sell. I do think that sell-through rate is definitely skewed down because it is the middle of summer, and also a lot of this, or it's more towards the end of summer, and a lot of this stuff I think people price up. They see Veronica Beard, they immediately price it up much higher. It happens with lots of brands. Fact is, the market's pretty big, but if you find a really cool style, you find like alpaca or something like that, a really nice, maybe cashmere, then you're going to get some good money for Veronica Beard. Here is a French company from Paris, Maje. It's a great brand to be on the lookout for. Lots of their sweaters sell, over $75, even into that 100 range. And the market's pretty big. It's the market size for Maje is around 1,000, unless my query, a lot of people are just putting something like that in their title to hopefully get more eyeballs. But 1,000 for sweaters, women's sweaters, around 200 sold, about a 20% sell-through rate. Not great, but it is the middle of summer or towards the end of summer, so that number is going to keep going up and up. People will start pricing down some of this stuff if they start getting worried. Definitely Maje is one to be on the lookout for. And here is Aje. Now this is a Australian fashion brand, one that really kind of took off from Australia. It's got some cool women's sweaters. Market size isn't that big, but it is around 125, 150 on eBay for used women's sweaters. Many of these go for over 50. It's definitely one a lot of people can skip, something maybe you find not very often, but just knowing it, that one day where you're out, a bunch of people miss it because they don't know, you're able to grab it. Next brand here is one you may have heard of. This is Smart Wool, and they specialize in making really high quality merino wool. They make both men's and women's sweaters. The women's sweaters market is pretty big. It's around 2,000, so definitely not everything is going to sell for over 50, but find a good pattern, find a good size, you're going to get that $50. And even if you find one, and you're able to get it cheap enough, like the bins, or maybe just a few bucks, and it's a boring size, a boring color or something, you could probably get like 25 to 30, I imagine. Okay, next brand here is Celine, or you'll see the tag as Celine Paris, French luxury brand. Now this brand has been around for a while. It's been around since like the 50s or 60s, and this is definitely one to be on the lookout for. A lot of the sweaters can sell for $75, $100, used women's sweaters. And they don't all, the sell-through rate isn't like incredible with this. Let me see what the numbers are on this. Okay, so it is a pretty small market. It's 50 on eBay and not many sold. But again, it's the middle of summer. People have these priced up. They're not going to just let a $100 sweater, something that they know can sell for $100 in the winter, they're not going to mark it down to like 50 or 60. At least I wouldn't. So Celine Paris, definitely one to be on the lookout for. And if you don't know it, it can kind of get mixed in with some of that fast fashion where you see a lot of those brands throw like a name and then they throw like a city like Paris or New York, Los Angeles to try and throw you off.